Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Norristown High School on a cold, blustery, rainy evening. My name is Joe Hyland, and together with Bob Koch, we'll be bringing you tonight's District 1 playoff game between the Norristown Eagles and the Avon Grove Devils. There is a little bit of electricity in the air, and there should be a little bit of electricity in the air because it's playoff time. And these fine young women on both teams, Norristown and Avon Grove, have worked and practiced and played for 4 months in order to get to this point. Due to their sparkling record in the regular season, Norristown comes into the game seeded 5th with high hopes of advancing into the next round against the winner of the North Penn-Conestoga game. Tonight's opponent, and you'll hear about tonight's opponent from Coach Koch, is by no means a weak sister. A team, and I'm sure the coach will agree with me, a team doesn't get this far and doesn't make the playoffs unless it has focus, talent, ability, and a deep-seated commitment to excellence. Norristown, of course, will be led by their two mainstays, the silky smooth Leon Moore and the hard-working Tamisha Johnson. The Eagles will also start Sasha Sims and Danielle Marshall. Tamara Halsey, the Eagles' floor general, will not be starting tonight. She has been weakened by a bout with the flu, and her place at the point will be taken by Ashley O'Donnell. Coach Jackson, however, informed me before the game that he expects Tamara to see a great deal of playing time this evening. Coach Jackson also indicated that the layoff has caused a little rust to form around the Eagles, but according to Coach Jackson, the Eagles have had some very good, very crisp practices, and they should be ready for tonight's game. Coach Jackson is very, very confident and feels that if the Eagles play the game the way they can play the game with speed, hustle, and scoring, they should be a very tough opponent, not only for Avon Grove, but for any and all other teams who come their way as they advance, hopefully deeply into the District 1 playoffs. My colleague, Bob Koch, is no stranger to playoff competition. A coach with over 300 victories to his credit has been in the playoffs, and I think that he'll be able to bring a certain insight into the dynamics and the pressure of high school basketball. So now, with a rundown on the Devils from Avon Grove, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Coach Bob Koch. Bob?
Good evening, everybody. This certainly is I'm able to reminisce a little bit about some of the things that occurred in previous years. In this case, with Norristown as the home team, you might feel a little bit of pressure because you have fans looking at you that are very partial. You may be a little tight early in the game, and the realization that Coach Jackson is playing against the 28th seed certainly will, I think, allow them to make some mistakes and not really get burnt by it. Avon Grove, or the Lady Devils, are the 28th seed. They're currently ranked, or the record is 13-9, and they're from the Southern County League. The teams that finished ahead of them were Unionville and Bishop Shanahan, so they finished third in their division. They played some of the teams that are perhaps common denominators for Norristown, Westchester East, and they lost to them, and Norristown thumped them pretty handily. So this is a team that is a veteran team. It has 3 seniors that'll start, a freshman at the point guard, which is pretty amazing, pretty interesting for the team, a sophomore shooting guard, and they run a 3-guard offense, and the 3rd guard in that offense is the 2nd leading scorer on the team, averaging 11 to 12 points a game. Their main scorer is a senior forward, and she's averaging about 15 points, 16 points a game. They average as a team about 40, but unfortunately they also give up about 40 points a game, so that illustrates what the record and why it is so close. Coach kind of has a very ambivalent feeling towards the game. He's very relaxed with it. If the team doesn't do well, his feeling is he has a very young team with the players that come off the bench. He brought up several of the JV players that performed very well for him during the course of the season. That's a plus. And certainly as a coach, my first year at Norristown, when we got into the playoffs, we went in as the 32nd seed and had the opportunity to play one of the higher seeds, and we lost that. But we understood that the next year we expected to be better, and we were looking at that first year with the young team as an experience year. And that's pretty much the way Coach is approaching it tonight. He's looking at this as an experience time. They were not in district playoffs last year. They had an under 500 record. So this year, this is a plus. It will give them an opportunity to get some much-needed experience for next year. He indicated to me that their team scores primarily off the transition. They have two, he said, very quick guards that like to run the court. They do like to work the ball inside, and they can score in bunches if they get the transition game going. He expressed to me a great deal of concern about the athleticism of Norristown, the size of Norristown, and a very serious concern about getting off to a good start. He knows that if he digs a hole early, they won't be able to get out of it. So this is a team that should have a lot of fun with tonight. He feels that there's no pressure, win or lose, it doesn't matter to them. In the real sense, it doesn't, because they know that they have a team that's back next year. And he's hoping that he can stay close to the end of the game and then see what would happen with his veteran players. So it should be a lot of fun tonight.
All right, that'll wrap up the pregame. We'll see you in a couple of moments for the playing of the national anthem, the introduction of the starting lineups, and the opening tip-off. So for Bob Koch, this is Joe Highland saying so long for now.
A long time ago.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back here for the start of the game between Norristown and Avon Grove, the first round of the District 1 playoffs. We're about to have the introduction of the starting lineups.
Welcome to the Norristown Area High School for the game between the ladies of Avon Grove and the Lady Eagles. This is the first round of the PIAA Class 4A playoffs.
Norristown comes into the game with a record of 18-5. Avon Grove comes into the playoffs with a record of 13-9.
Excellent order and good discipline.
5th seed against the 28th seed.
Now for the starting lineups.
Starting lineup now for the Avon Grove Devils.
If I mispronounce the last name, it's charge it to the head, not to the heart. Number 12, Brooke Woodland.
Number 12, Brooke Woodland, a freshman point guard.
Number 14, Nikki David.
Number 14 is Nikki David.
Number 20, Julie Sylvania.
Number 20 is Julie Sylvania.
Number 50, Amanda Carr.
Number 50 is Amanda Carr.
And number 51, Sonia Spriggs.
And number 51 is Sonia Spriggs.
The ladies of Avon Grove are coached by Mr. Bob McCompsey and Mr. John Finzatelli.
Avon Grove, Bob, has a pretty good basketball tradition. According to what the coach told me, they've made the playoffs 9 of the last 10 years.
Yes, last year I believe was the first year they had not, and that's because they jumped up from AAA to Quad A. And he said this has been a learning experience for them because the competition and talent so much better.
Starting lineup for the Eagles: Sasha Sims, Ashley O'Donnell. Ashley will be starting for Tamara Halsey.
Number 33, Leanne Moore.
Here's Danielle Marshall.
And number 34, Alicia Johnson.
Leanne Moore, and the Eagles' spiritual leader, Tamisha Johnson. Hard-working and always hustling.
I would ask at this time if everyone would rise for the playing of the national anthem. Can you see by the dawn's early light, from so proudly we hailed, and the twilight Our officials this evening are Mr. Rick Falcone,
Playoff time.
Ms. Peggy McCarran, and Mr. Bill Quinn.
Our referees tonight will be Peggy McKernan, Rick Falcone, and Bill Quirk. The players have squirrels in their stomach about now, Bob?
I would think so. Both teams are going to experience that, and coaches.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no question about that. I was more nervous, I think, than the players were before these kind of games, because you never know. And I felt, as a coach, more tightness playing at home that first game than playing away. I don't know if Roger will have that feeling, but particularly being that seed, the 5th seed, you're expected to win.
Yeah. Here we are. Referee Rick Falcone to toss up the ball. Tap control by the Eagles. Danielle Marshall. Beautiful jump shot from the right corner. Here comes Avon Grove. Point guard Brooke Woodland working the ball. 14 on the left wing is Nicole David. There's a steal by number 4, Sasha Sims. Beautiful pass to Danielle Marshall. Very nice pass, unselfish play. Eagles 4-0.
I'll
The
tell you
ball
what,
kicked.
Avon Grove is in trouble right from the beginning, from the position at the top.
They look jittery, they look stumbly.
They've made 3 passes.
Yeah.
2 of them have hit kneecaps or proximate, and they're already talking to each other.
There's 5-second violation. Norristown's ball. The point guard could not get the ball in.
See, he has a freshman point guard starting,
Yep.
and that's
Yep.
asset liability.
That's a lot of pressure
it's
on
an
that
asset for
shot.
next year, but it's a liability sometimes for this year.
Number 33, Leanne Moore with a silky smooth jump shot.
3 for 3 on the floor.
Yes.
Right? And Avon Grove has not taken a shot and is now turned it over again.
There's a travel on number 20, Julie Sylvania. Number 11 into the game is Tamara Halsey. Coach Jackson didn't wait very long before he put it. Jump shot, 18-foot jump shot, 8-0. Here's Norristown with that press. Steal. Here's Tamisha Johnson. Uncontested drive to the basket. Here comes Brooke Woodland over the timeline. Bounce pass. There's a steal. A steal and a travel on number 33, Leanne Moore. Anticipated that pass very nicely.
Right. That was the first shot they missed, and it was a right-handed layup on the left side. If she'd gone left, she probably would have made the shot. We still haven't seen Avon Grove take a shot. There's the first shot, and it's an air ball.
Yep. Here comes Norristown on the break. Tamara Halsey. Leanne Moore. Uncontested drive to the basket. Norristown 10, Avon Grove nothing.
Avon Grove was very concerned about getting an early start, and already he's taking a timeout with 3 minutes gone in a period, and he's in trouble. It's 11-zip.
Yeah. Actually, 2 minutes, Bob. When you
yeah, 2 minutes gone, so he's in trouble. 1 shot, 8 possessions.
Air ball on the shot.
Right.
Yeah. And they look very jittery on offense.
And the downside to that is he has 3 seniors starting, and his inside player hasn't touched the ball. The player that scores 15 a game hasn't seen the ball yet. The guards, the 1, 2, and 3 are all having trouble making passes.
Right. I mean, Norristown brings to the game size, experience, speed, and it has to be a very daunting task for that young freshman point guard.
Yeah, and over the years I've started numerous freshman point guards, but you really have to be battle tested for this kind of experience, playing away with so much at stake. You know that if you lose, this is the last game till next year. So you feel it.
All right, here's number 20, Slovenia. Eagles are employing a suffocating zone press. Norristown gets back on defense. Another travel against Avon Grove.
See, and if you're Avon Grove, they both have had time to practice, but how do you practice for the quickness and the athleticism that Norristown brings to the table? Your best bet, and I don't know if he's done that, is to bring in your boys JV team or your varsity boys team in practice. That's what we did to get ready for playoffs. We always had the boys work against us offensively and defensively to practice that kind of competition.
Here's a shot on inside by Tamisha Johnson. She's fouled on the play. 13 unanswered points.
Fouling Spriggs her first, team first.
Tamisha Johnson going to the line. Nice stroke.
Johnson making the one.
There's a block. Number 4, Sasha Sims, blocked a much taller girl, Bob.
But no verticality on that shot. I mean, you have to get up or preface it with a shot fake. And she will be reluctant to shoot inside again.
Yep. With a pass inside. Nice play by number 50, Amanda
She used her body
Clark.
well on that. Used her body well.
Yep. Nice pass inside.
There's not a pass.
Here's Tamara Halsey again with a smooth jump shot. 17-2.
Now here's the downside for Norristown. They just gave up a press, right? There's a blocking, but 3 Avon Grove players were down at court with 1 Norristown player. I've been saying all season that's going to be a liability against good ball handling teams that run the court. And Cheltenham has demonstrated that twice with Norristown. They have to press and be able to get back without fouling or giving up easy looks.
Showing no fear, Nicole David drove hard to the basket, drew the foul. Makes the first of 2. It's 17-3, 4.5 minutes to play in the first period.
Interesting too with Tamara, 2 for 2 I believe,
yes.
Right? And they're both threes. Sometimes players play better sick. They're more relaxed and they're more concerned about being sick than they are the game.
Yep. Yeah, as soon as she touched the ball, she came down and fired one up.
And you know, sometimes you turn these negatives into positives. When players told me they were sick, that's fine. You'll play. You'll be all right.
Yeah.
You'll be thinking about being sick and not the game, so we'll be all right.
Here's a pass inside. Leanne Moore with her 6th point.
Now see how they attack the press this time. She's in trouble. She's in the corner.
There's a timeout called by number 20, Julie Sylvania.
For the viewers watching the game, you see where she received the ball. That's the no-no. She received it in the corner. That's the trap. You can't go backwards. You can't go forwards. 2 players in front of her. You don't want to give the ball to your teammate in the corner or trap area.
Idea is to get into the middle, Bob?
Get it into the middle. You don't want to make that entry pass right into the trap. Coaches teach their players that the lines represent defensive players. You cannot step on it. You can't go on it. You can't go behind it. So it's a turnover. You don't want to give it to your player there. And that means offensively, your V cut or off of your screen has to put you in a place to get the ball in the middle of the court, somewhere in the paint.
All right, here's Avon Grove taking the ball out. Stepped on the line, Norristown's ball. There's Sasha, number 4, Sasha Sims. Halsey with a hot hand. Moore, Sasha Sims, deep rebound. Danielle Marshall looking to shoot. Here's Tamisha Johnson with a foul over the top. Number 34.
Foul from Johnson, her first team second.
I think I saw a little reversion on that, Joe, in that there was a rebound. He went right back to the basket, putting the ball on the floor instead of looking for the open teammate. You don't want to do that.
A nice pass inside.
Number 50 is a little gun shy on that one.
Yep. Well, she remembers. She remembered the block.
But the fact is, Avon Grove got a layup opportunity, a 2-on-1 break.
There's a follow by Tamisha Johnson off a missed jump shot by Tamara Halsey. Scores 21-3. All right, the ball's out off Norristown. Avon Grove to inbound under its own basket. Brooke Woodland, freshman point guard, number 50 from the corner. Nice shot by Amanda Carr. Nice form, Bob, on that shot.
Yeah. But slow on the release. I mean, that's where she's going to have to take her shots, I think, tonight. She's not going to get away with that inside. She's had one blocked and one hard off the glass, so she's better staying out in the perimeter.
Yeah, but then they'll have no inside presence. Absolutely no inside presence.
Well, they don't have it anyway. They haven't had it so far, so their best bet might be to put some points on the board trying to go outside.
All right, Sasha misses the first. She'll get one more. Makes one of two, 22-5, Norristown. There's a pass. Here comes Norristown on the break. Tamara Halsey looking to shoot. Beautiful pass. There's Leanne Moore battling inside with Brooke Woodland. Here's Amanda Carr. Pass is too long, picked off by Sasha Sims. Here's Halsey looking to shoot, looking to drive. Throws up an air ball.
You don't want to see that. You can't count on the press to give you points all the time. You just don't want to make that kind of defensive mistake.
They won't be able to make these mistakes against a better team, right?
No, they won't. It'll haunt them. And see, again, this is what concerns me. That's a 3-on-1 break off of their press.
All right, here's Tamara Halsey, slows it down.
She looks like she's lumbering a little bit. You can tell she's been struggling.
See, deep rebound, Leanne Moore, jump shot. Here's number 5, Ashley O'Donnell, outworked Amanda Carr for the layup.
Too many, Avon Grove's too many blind passes.
Yeah.
And Avon Grove is lumbering here. Look at this.
Yeah.
There's 3 players and they're puffing.
Right.
They're puffing. They're breathing heavy.
Right, Norristown in a zone. Poor pass inside.
See, 50 just isn't going to touch the ball. Those lob passes will not work with the quickness of Norristown.
Right.
Don't even go there. It's not going to be there. I'm a little concerned, a little surprised with number 20, who's a senior for them and placed a 1-2 for Avon Grove. The passes are not what they need to be successful. There's been too many turnovers.
Here's Danielle Marshall with a long rebound. Here's Halsey. Erica Deaver, who had a very good game last time at senior night.
Yep, played very well. 8 points, I believe, couple threes.
Yep.
Just a good floor game for her. And it's good to see here that Coach Jackson has 2 of the players that normally do not start, Erica and Ashley, that are both playing.
Yes.
So that's a smart move with the second game coming up. thought Tamisha did a good job on that. She should. Earlier we've said that Tamisha put the ball on the floor too much.
A beautiful pass inside. Tamisha Johnson to Ashley O'Donnell. Nice play.
You like to see her give it up to get it to the guard so she can get it back. As it turned out, they scored anyway, but Tamisha got rid of the ball.
All alone in the corner. Got to make that jumper. Here's number 12. Nice shot. Brooke Woodland, nice 10-foot jump shot.
That's the freshman point guard for them.
I don't think. I think she settled down. She doesn't seem as flustered as she was.
She seems a little bit more relaxed than the senior point or the senior guard, number 20.
Nice block by Amanda Carr. However, Norristown picks up the rebound, puts it back. That's the end of the first period with the score: Norristown 28, Avon Grove 7. I think that Avon Grove is physically and athletically overmatched. I mean, it's even a moron like me can see that.
You know, now try and put yourself in the head of the coach from Avon Grove at this point. You got to settle your team down, relax. You tell them not to look at the score. That's irrelevant at this point. You want to focus on how you play the game. And he's already in the back of his head thinking about next year. I would be at this point thinking about next year. You want them to, you want to be as positive as you can be as a coach. You know you have next year, and establish a little bit of identity, a little bit of confidence in every play they do well. You emphasize as that positive, because you know the outcome of this. It's a given. So at this point, your focus is just let's relax, try and make as many good plays as possible, and if you're Roger, it's a question of how many points you want to score and how many mistakes can you afford to make.
That was my question. Do you see Jackson going deep into the bench in this game?
I think he should. Even though it's early in the game, I think he should, because he's already established the tenor of the game. Go deep, play different players, and start getting set for the next game.
All right, working the ball. There's Sylvania, right corner. Number 14 is Nicole David. Drive inside, showing no fear. Didn't make the shot. Here comes Halsey. Off Danielle Marshall's hands. It'll be Avon Grove's ball.
See, I think you can see, Joe, that Avon Grove is a well-coached team. They don't have the athletes to match up, but just the ball movement. The ball went to both sides of the court on the last possession. They're looking around. You like to see that. Here we go.
Here comes Tamisha Johnson leading a fast break. Nice lead pass. There's a foul on, I believe, Ashley O'Donnell. Number 5, it is Ashley O'Donnell. It's Norristown's second. I'm sorry, that's the Eagles' third team foul.
One thing Coach Jackson is going to have to learn to do is not to stay. He's going to have to learn to stay off the officials. If he makes it into states and he travels, that's a no-no. You better stay off the officials, and he hasn't learned that lesson yet. He's already on the officials, and it's 28-9, and he's up. At the next, if he makes it into the next bracket, the tolerance level drops real short.
All right, Avon Grove continues to battle. Here's number 14 driving to the basket. Nice follow-up by number 12, Brooke Woodland. That's correct.
You can't be happy with that. You know, forget the score. You focus on the defense and the transition. They got 2 shots. They beat your player down, and they got the rebound and scored.
That's correct. There's number 22 with a nice shot from the corner, Danielle Marshall.
Run it, AG, run it.
There's a beautiful lead pass by Deaver.
Could have called intentional.
Yes,
on
they
that
could have won
because
that.
she wasn't going for the ball.
Yeah,
She pushed her in the back. I
Yep.
mean, that's not the kind of foul you want to see.
No.
It wasn't a hard foul, but still was a push in the back, and she'd already taken a shot.
All right, here's Danielle Marshall. Like all the Eagles, Danielle's having a very, very fine game.
It's interesting too, Joe, because he has Leanne Moore that's been sitting quite a bit, and Sasha Sims been sitting quite a bit, and you're not sure whether it's just playing personnel or Sasha took, I thought, a no-advised three-point shot.
She did.
And, you know, they're coming back into the game. Maybe they sat and thought about it a little bit. Or maybe it's just a substitution.
Nice shot by number 50, Amanda Carr. They worked the ball inside the end box.
Yeah, and she got the ball below the box. She didn't have a good shot, but she was able to take Ashley and score off of it.
Here's Erika Deaver with a shot from the left wing. Banked it in. I wonder if she called that bank.
Probably.
All right. Number 20 drove hard to the basket. Julie Sylvania.
Coach Jackson is ragging the officials again about that foul, and that's.
Is it possible that he'll see these officials deeper into the playoffs?
Oh yes.
See, they'll remember.
You know what? If
they'll
you're
remember.
Kidding yourself. If you don't think officials remember, like. As coaches, we kept a book on officials. Officials know, and they talk about coaches. That is a fact. And I would never like to put ourselves in a situation where I have an official thinking negative about our players or the team or me as a coach because of me constantly bantering back and forth.
There's a steal inside. Nice play.
See, Avon Grove has settled down a little bit.
Yes,
Joe.
they have.
15 points on the board. It's 34-15. And Avon Grove is getting some shots. Remember the first couple minutes they didn't have a shot. It was 9-zip.
Yep.
And they aren't getting some points on the board. I thought this would be a 100-point game after the first quarter, but at this point they might have 50 at half.
Yep.
Maybe. No, I don't think that's even possible at this point. 34.
There's an ill-advised shot by Norristown. Nice pass inside. Nice play. Nice play by number 51, Sonia Spriggs. Right now, Avon Grove is out hustling the Eagles.
Yes, it's going to put Danielle back in and Tamisha back in. She walked on that.
There's Erika Deaver again.
See, Avon Grove seems very intent on attacking right now. They're putting the ball on the floor and going to the basket. See it? Yep. Again. That's a nice hustle play.
That is a nice hustle play. She's scrappy.
Right, you can't be happy with that because she took a shot and she's the smallest player, second smallest player on the team, and she got her own rebound.
Yes, she did.
Marshall and Johnson back into the game.
See, that's what I think he said at timeout. Relax, just play your game. Don't worry about score and see what happens.
Right.
And they're playing a lot better.
There's Leanne Moore with a jump shot.
She's in trouble.
Yep.
No.
There's number 20
again.
So
nice play. Bad pass. Good recovery.
There's number.
What's the call? Foul on that?
Sylvania, came over the top.
I better get the windshield wipers and clean these a little bit. I'm a little surprised at that call. I thought that was a good hustle play. She got a hand on it. It was all for her, but I didn't see the foul on it.
All right, the score is 38-17 Eagles with 3 minutes to play. Another shot from Tamara Halsey. She's 3 for 4 from the field. There's a steal by Halsey. Beautiful play inside. Pass to Leanne Moore. Broke the press nicely there, Bob.
Yes, they did. The key is not getting the ball to the corner. If you get it in the corner in that first pass, you are in trouble, particularly with the size of their guards. That is Avon Grove and the size of Norristown's wing and baseline player. You're in trouble if you go corner.
All right, possession arrow favors Avon Grove.
Still would like to see Norristown more patient, run the offense, and anybody that's scouting this sees they're scoring their points A, off a transition, or B, off of rebounds, or C, they're putting the ball up as jump shots. Be more patient off. Here we go, 3-on-1 potentially again.
So in other words, Bob, as Norristown goes into the playoffs, or deeper into the playoffs, they're going to have to play a half-court game against some teams.
Oh, absolutely, and that's been Cheltenham's answer to Norristown.
Exactly.
Cheltenham is, I think, a mirror image of Norristown, or vice versa, with one critical difference. Cheltenham can play a half-court game and beat you both ways.
Right.
They can run, they can press, but they can also play a half-court game. I think Norristown has to be more patient. Now, see, these points are meaningless.
Right.
At this point, from
I understand what you're saying.
It's meaningless. You need pull off the press, play your half-court defense, and then pick it up in your half-court offense, because you score quick points here, but you're not going to be able to do that against the better teams. So start thinking about how you can improve your half-court offense.
Use this game as a sort of a competitive scrimmage. An extremely competitive scrimmage,
Really break it down and identify and correct.
As we all know that Norristown can run like the wind. Tamisha Johnson inside. 46-19, a minute to play. Lead pass goes over the head of Amanda Carr.
Now, you have to know too, Joe, that he's made a couple subs here.
Yes.
Number 35, number 14, and these may be two of the JV players that he alluded to earlier.
Number 35 is Amanda Clark.
He said he was going to try and get some of the younger players in and give them some experience. Think about next year.
Yep. Sasha Sims, another jump shot. I almost wish Norristown would save some of these points.
Now, there's still a player down.
All right, here comes Norristown on the break again. Danielle Marshall, nice left-handed layup. Use your left hand, Bob.
Very well. And she was very quick. Nobody's going to catch her with that kind of lead. Nice pass. Nice look.
Here comes the Eagles. 10 seconds to play. Beautiful lead pass. Tamisha Johnson. It's 52-19. 5 seconds to play. All right, that's the end. That's the end of the first half, with Norristown leading 52-19 over Avon Grove. It's clear. It's been clear right from the first 5 seconds of this game that Norristown is simply a superior team. They're taller, they're faster, they can shoot better, but to their credit, Avon Grove is hanging in there.
Yeah, if you can say it, right, a 30-point spread at this point. And I know Coach has already used a couple players from his bench, and he's not saying he's quit, but he understands that this is an opportunity to set the table for next year. I'm telling you that I still see chinks in the armor for Norristown, and they're more blatant the more I see them. When you get against the Downingtown Bob Schnoor, or a Council Rock with Palkovich, or Bob Schaefer, those are veteran coaches that can break your team down, and at that point they will execute. And that's going to be a concern as they continue to go on. I'm going to come back to the same things. I believe that Norristown has to be more consistent with their half-court offense. Points are irrelevant at this point.
I agree.
If you score 100, it doesn't mean squat. You can't save them or take them to the next game.
Right, that's right.
Right? You focus on mistakes, because the further you go, the mistakes crush you in the playoffs, whether it's foul shots or missed layups or turnovers,
right.
Or failing to see things. So I'm a little concerned. You know, it's impressive to the neophyte who's looking at this and sees 52 points, but to a veteran, it doesn't mean squat.
All right. Thank you very much, Bob. That'll wrap it up for the first half of tonight's game. We'll take a break now for halftime and see you in a couple of moments. Thank you. Welcome back to the second half of tonight's game between the Norristown Eagles and the Avon Grove Devils. Scores 52-19. Norristown with a commanding lead. And we'll see if Coach Jackson follows Coach Cox's advice and uses the second half as a training ground or as a very competitive scrimmage, so that they can prepare for tougher opponents as they advance into the playoff.
Now, see, we'll know in the first couple minutes whether he's going to look to put a lot more points on the board, and whether he's thinking about 70, 80, 90, or 100, or he's thinking about let's identify and correct.
Right.
See what I mean about a half-court game?
Yep. Yep.
They made 2 passes or attempted to, and it was a turnover.
There's a nice shot inside by number 51, Sonia Spriggs. I see exactly what you said, Bob. Exactly right. They went to a half-court offense and lost the ball. There's a drive to the basket, Tamara Halsey.
That was quickness, Joe. There was no screen.
Right, exactly.
It was just quickness to the basket. She just beat her player.
Just blew right by the
side there.
That's right.
She just went to the basket.
Ball's out on Norristown. Danielle Marshall hustling.
It's obvious he wants to press.
What's that?
It's obvious he's up by 33 and he's starting the second half with pressure.
Right.
And he has his top guns out there.
And number 20, Julie Salvini calls a timeout. Couldn't find anybody to pass the ball to.
She gave up the dribble, and she gave up the dribble in a bad spot.
30 seconds.
And it's a timeout or a turnover.
Right.
That guard must keep the ball alive. Period. Now we'll get to
You
see.
maintain, Bob, that regardless of how tall you are, or how tall a team you have, how fast you are, the key to the whole operation is that point guard.
Oh, I am. At this level, the point guard is the answer. You can defeat presses, you can run your offense, you can get the ball to the players who can score. If you don't have a point who can make good decisions, who can get the ball up court, who can see the court, obviously you can't score if you don't have the ball.
Right.
And you have to have a point that can do that.
Here's a nice play by 14. She flashed inside Nicole David, and there was a jump ball possession error to Norristown. It was a nice play by number 14.
Well, if we just focus now, Norristown is forced to be in a half-court set again and see what they do.
Okay.
Now, they've been 3 possessions on this. All 3 have been to the right side. 1 pass, jump shot.
Sasha Sims.
when they made 2 passes earlier, they turned it over, and the possession in between, it was a layup.
Yes.
So they have not had a series in those 3 possessions where they've gone more than a pass.
Tried to work some high-low there and didn't work.
No, and it's just not a good pass. With 20-some games in a season, you should have a better connection, teamwork-wise, but that wasn't even close to being completed. And there wasn't a lot of pressure in our sense. You just blatantly threw it away.
Right. Number 33, Leanne Moore. Kick ball. Here's into the game for Norristown is Brandy Staten. Number 21. Out is number 4, Sasha Sims. (58-21) Norristown. 5 minutes to play. Let's see if they do the half-court offense. 1 pass. 1 pass.
4 possessions, 1 pass.
Alison Hayden, her first team first.
See, and I'll throw this out. We had a rule of thumb that if you just came in the game and she just came off the bench, you didn't take a shot for 2.5, 3 minutes. You had to get a feel for the game. The only shot you could take was a layup, no jump shots. Now, she took a jumper, she was fouled, but
right. I see what you're saying.
The rule of thumb is you get a feel for the game, and you don't take jump shots when you just come into the game. Get a feel, get comfortable with what's going on.
There's a nice rebound. Here comes Brooke Woodland.
There's 3 Norristown players caught in a half-court set. Just gave up a good look. And he has his top guns out there, -1.
Yeah, Avon
Grove. An entry on that.
Avon Grove pushed the ball that last offense and beat
got
Norristown.
A good look jump
exactly.
Shot. Exactly.
Beat Norristown down the floor. And as you say, against quality teams, Norristown can't do that if they want to survive.
Well.
Johnson.
Here's Nicole David. Nice pass inside. Nice play. That was a clever little play.
Very nice play. Good look. You see certain things here, and that kind of pass shouldn't be completed with Leanne and Tamisha inside. Now, here it is. That's 6 straight possessions, and the most we have is 1 pass.
1 pass. There's a foul on number 21, Brandy Staten. Whack Brooke Woodland too. In the back. Yes, they are.
40-point spread, and we're still pressing on this.
O'Donnell back into the game.
Running the floor is Julie Sylvania. Draws a foul. Foul on the floor. There will be no shot. There'll be no shot.
Moore, first, team second.
It was on Leanne that time.
Danielle Marshall with the steal. All right, looks like they're trying to run the offense.
That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing.
Brooke Woodland
I thought that ball was in, Joe.
So did I.
And we all
So did
agree.
I.
All three of us agree on that. That ball was in.
She didn't step on the line, I don't think.
No, but see, what did we just see with that handling? She did a 360 with the basketball and went nowhere with it and turned it over.
And was stripped by a freshman guard.
Right. She was fouled going to the basket, but that's now 7 possessions with 1 pass or less.
Fouls pitching out. Her first, team third.
Here's Tamara Halsey at the line, going to shoot 2. A 39-point Norristown lead.
Halsey making the first 2.
See what he does after this score, Joe, if we're still in the press.
Right.
And he is.
He is.
And he's up by 40. And we
40.
just heard someone in the stands from Avon Grove saying, you're up by 40, what are you doing?
Right, right.
And Avon Grove has at least 1, 2, 3 players in there that are JV players. Number 21 now, number 41, and number 23.
They're using the game wisely. You're right, Bob. They're using the game wisely. They're looking to the future. Looking to the future. Taking the long view. I don't understand. There's a nice little play.
Yeah, that was a nice play. She wasn't able to finish, but it was a nice play. See, that's the positive. You can tell he's 10 years at this, and irregardless of the score, he's not worried if they lose by 60 or 70.
Right.
Get the players some time and think about next year.
Yep. Here's Nicole David. Nice drive. Didn't finish, but a nice drive. Danielle Marshall with the steal, running the fast break.
I don't know where number 21 was going. I thought she was leaving the building on defense on that one. She made no attempt to cover the basket. She left the play.
Long shot by.
If Norristown continues to press like this, once we get it over, if I were the opposing team, I wouldn't even look at taking shots. I would just keep trying to pull it back and say, you're not going to do that to us. I mean, there's no value to it.
I don't claim to be an expert on basketball, but I don't understand pressing another team when you have a 43-point lead. I just don't understand that.
You know, and that coaches and parents and fans remember those things. I tell you, Joe, that happened to me my first year at Norristown when we played Coatesville. They scored 90.
Right.
And I'll tell you what, we played them in our 3rd year, and we beat them when it counted the most.
Right.
And it was a 70-point turnaround.
Right.
In 3 years. And our kids remembered that embarrassment of that game.
Yep. Yeah, there's no need to rub
we remembered it as coaches.
Right.
I'll tell you what, and it was a great advantage for us when we played them, and they had an All-American at that time playing for Coatesville, and we played at a different level for that game.
All right, there's a nice drive to the basket by Tamara Halsey off the fast break. Made the basket, drew the foul. Score is 70-25, 1:19 to play.
Clock to the game.
See, and he has, Avon Grove now has four non-starters
that's
out
right.
there.
That's right.
3, correct.
Three.
That 14's on, but 50's out, 51 is out.
The point guard's out.
Right.
You're right.
So he has 3 non-starters, and by the facial expressions, the kids that are in now seem very young.
Yep.
Schmidt, 2.
Norristown's friendly rims. Back into the game is another starter, Sasha Sims.
Here's Sims back in the game.
She makes 2. Schmidt makes 2. Here's number 4, Sasha Sims, running the offense in place of Tamara Halsey, who, despite the flu, has played an exceptionally good game. Here's a foul inside on Ashley O'Donnell.
Foul by Michael, the first, team 5th.
Ashley's done a good job for them all year.
Yes, she has.
She's been a very strong player off the bench, tough inside, gets her rebounds. And she does rebound on both ends of the court.
Makes 1 of 2. Here comes Avon Grove. Nice shot by number 14.
That was
Nicole
a 4-pass series to get the shot.
Yep.
And that's what you want to see.
Norristown calling a play. All right, that's the end of the third quarter with Norristown with a 42-point lead, 72 to 30. Say it.
But I'd like to think I'm on the mark with that. They didn't get the shot off. He was trying to get the last shot, and no one stepped up to take that. And the more you make them pass, the less chance they have of scoring.
Bob, I agree with you. I think the third period was a meaningless, literally a meaningless period for the Eagles. Meant nothing, proved nothing, accomplished nothing.
Yeah, you put points on the board.
Except put points on the board.
You pad your individual stats and you pad your offensive stats a little bit, but they're meaningless in the entire picture. One of the coach from Avon Grove made an interesting comment, and as a coach you recognize this. So we're averaging 40 points a game, he said, but with some of the better teams we're not scoring 40, and some of the not as strong teams we're putting more points on the board. And that's how you measure the success of your team. How many points can you put on the board, and how many points do you give up against good teams?
All right, here's the start of the fourth quarter. Number 20 is Julie Sylvania. She'll be inbounding the ball. She's played a nice game.
Yeah, and he's come back with 1, 2. He's come back with his starting 5 again.
His starting 5, yep.
See, I think the coach from Avon Grove deserves a lot of credit. He's playing young kids regardless of the score. Now he's come back with his starters, but he has 3 seniors out there. This is their last game.
Exactly.
Let them play the last 8 minutes and let it go at that. You know, now I see where he's coming from with that. He went with the younger kids to give him a couple minutes in the third, and they probably let the seniors finish it out.
This is their baccalaureate.
Yep. See, I believe that's the 6th different player he's used off the bench, number 42 for them.
Into the game now is Erica Deaver, number 44. Out for the Eagles is Sasha Sims. And Norristown finally has only one starter in, Ashley O'Donnell.
Well, it's good to see he's going deeper into the bench. It's good, and there's 2 players that have not had much time.
Yep.
And it appears that he's called off the press. Now, I still think there's another issue. And that issue at this point is no transition game and no threes.
Okay.
You can't shoot threes at this point, and no transition game. You concentrate on scoring and going to the basket. Work on your passes, cuts, and screens, and must make a layup. And see if you can draw. They have 6 fouls. Avon Grove has 16 fouls. See how soon you can get them into that 7th one-on-one. But let's see if we can make foul shots at the end of the game. One pass.
Erica has no conscience. She'll
pass
fire.
And 1 shot.
Yeah, she pulls the trigger quickly. Here's a nice play by Amanda Carr.
That was good inside position. I thought she took a step before she took the shot, though. I thought she caught it and shuffled her feet, but the officials are turning a blind eye to that tonight. They're still hustling.
They are. You got to give them credit.
Mismatch underneath the basket, yep. and she stayed with it.
Here's number 40 into the game, Jenny Clark, getting some well-deserved playing time. There's a play, a nice steal and a drive to the basket by number 20, Julie Sylvania. Made the basket, is going to try to make the 3-point play. Jen Clark walked after that loose ball.
Timeout, Norristown.
Norristown calls a timeout.
Yeah, I think he's
speaking to Jen Clark about walking after that ball.
Right. I think he's a little upset. There's a turnover there, and you just don't want to give up layups, and you don't want to foul on that layup. So he's probably just conveying to him, we got to play defense and let's play smart.
So they just really won.
I haven't seen that many points in a women's game for some time.
That's a lot of scoring.
That's a lot of points. You look at that shot chart, though, and that's where we would know. The tail of the tape would be the shot chart. And you're going to see a lot of those are inside. There's a couple threes, but a lot of those are off of transition and putbacks.
Slovenia smoothly completes that 3-point play.
And see what I said, Joe?
Yes.
I hate to harp on it, but it's one pass and it's a 3.
Yep.
That would be time to get out of the game and sit and we talk a little bit.
Yes.
We don't need to take threes up by 40, and we do need to run an offense. I think too, if his assistants, and I don't know to what extent, but they're so far removed from him, I think you need an air horn or something to get through. You need to talk to your assistants, or they need to talk to him and say, look, what are we doing here?
Well, you can bet that the probably both North Penn and Conestoga, Norristown's next opponents, have assistant coaches here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm sure they're going to be intimidated by what they see. But the other side, if they're doing their homework, they'll understand how to break it down.
Right.
Right idea, just not
Didn't
good
execute.
location.
Right. Number 21 is Brandy Staton. They're trying to run the offense, half-court offense.
There it is again. One pass, one shot. High post screen.
There's a long pass. Nice play by number 20, Julie Sylvinia. She's still playing her heart out, as are all the Lady Devils.
There's a nice hustle.
There's a nut.
And you have to give Avon Grove credit here. They have four of the starters out there, and that's just he's probably going to play the seniors and let them wind it out.
Right.
But Norristown only has, actually they have no starters out there at this point.
No.
So I would be having a stroke.
I know you would. I know you would.
It wouldn't get to that point, but I would be one unhappy pup. That is 11 or 12 straight possessions where it was one pass and a shot.
There's a shot in the middle, Shaniqua Anthony.
We could probably wager at this point, Joe, and see how many points we'll finish with. 86.
I'll say 88. I'll say
86.
88. Yeah.
Okay, you say 88.
All right.
I'll say 90.
All right. There's a steal. Here comes Norristown on the break. There's a shot by number 3, Xenia Pearson.
I might revise that and go up to 100 if we're going to look to run like this with this kind of lead.
Can you see any conceivable reason why Norristown would be running at this point? Is there any possible explanation?
Exercise. But we get that in practice. So the only thing I'm seeing is you want to put points on the board. And you know, ironically, Joe, this is the group of players that are out there now, 3 or 4 of which are his future.
Yes.
This is when you set the table and say, this is what I want done. Run the offense, be patient. Let me see what you can do. Being patient. I know you can run the court. I know you can score laps. Let me see what you can do with passes, cuts, and screens, and being patient. And reading the defense.
All right. 3 minutes to play. Norristown 80, Avon Grove 41. All right, out of bounds, Norristown's ball.
saw her step out over here.
We're still holding.
I gotta think, Bob. I gotta think that a game like this hurts Norristown.
Yes.
This is not a playoff game. There's not the electricity, there's not the intensity, there's not the competition, and it seems that Norristown is falling into some very bad habits.
And these kind of games can do that to you unless you're a buster.
Right.
I think as a coach you have to be more demanding, more of a disciplinarian, because you have a tendency to let them, they want to do what they want to do, and that's not always the right thing to do, because you're always looking a game or 2 or 3 ahead.
All right, here's Brandy Stanton.
See, that's, you don't want to give the ball up there. Both players gave the ball up there. Now, unless he's looking to hold the ball for the last shot, and I can't, no, he's not.
2 minutes to play. Norristown 82, Avon Grove 41. Here's a steal by number 21, Brandy Stanton.
And she just turned it over.
Nice pass.
Nice look.
Nice look by the freshman point guard.
I hate to hear the fans and everybody saying shoot the ball, because that takes your team out of what you want done.
Right.
Turn a deaf ear to that.
All right, with 1:04 to play, Norristown with a 41-point lead. Out of the game is Brooke Woodland, who played a whale of a game.
Now he pulled his seniors. He pulled his 3 seniors,
right.
So it's.
She's going to score a lot of baskets the next 3 years, Bob.
Yeah, and I like what he's done with his kids. I like the way he's handled it. I think he deserves a lot of credit, because he wasn't worried about the score, and he got young kids in. Said to heck with it.
Here's a nice shot by number 41, Schmidt.
I think rookie coaches would have got trapped into that and said, look, we're gonna play and try and keep it respectable, but he wasn't worried about that.
Half minute to play. There's a jump shot by number 3, Xenia Pearson. 25 seconds left to play. Norristown's ball.
Looks like you're going to win the bet.
First thing I've won all year.
Justified, I'm sure, but looks like you're going to win this one. 84, and they're going to look to shoot here. Now, just rhetorically, would you allow your player to shoot now?
No.
No, I wouldn't either.
No.
Just pull it out.
Do not shoot.
Just let it go.
All right, with 4 seconds to play, here's a foul. I've been watching basketball for 45 years. That's probably the most meaningless foul I've ever seen.
Yeah, that's. People are going to look at this score tomorrow in the paper and think it's a misprint. That's good for her. It's good for Jen.
Yep.
She's a good kid.
And that's the end of the game, fans, with Norristown advancing in the District 1 playoffs with a convincing, and I do mean convincing, victory over Avon Grove, 85-43. That's a 42-point lead, 42-point win. To wrap it up for the Eagles, Tamara Halsey, I thought, came off the bench and played a marvelous floor game. She shot, she must have had 4 or 5 jump shots in the first half. Tamisha Johnson was her usual force inside. Leanne Moore played a smooth double-figure game. Danielle Marshall played some excellent defense and hit some very sweet jump shots. And Sasha Sims played another strong, intelligent floor game, combining nice shooting with excellent defense. Having said all that, I don't think Norristown can walk away from this game satisfied. I think they were clearly the superior team physically and athletically, and I don't think they got better as they advanced into the playoff. Bob?
Well, each game from here on in, the score and the spread gets a lot different, and North Penn is also a well-coached team. They have some stronger players inside, but they're not going to match up with Norristown. That's my perspective. Assuming North Penn wins it. I haven't seen Conestoga, which I think is North Penn's rival tonight or tomorrow.
Yes.
So I'm assuming North Penn will win it. They have their first game at home as well, but I don't think they match up well enough to defeat Norristown. Norristown's going to have to start, and I'm not sure this is going to happen. They're going to have to start playing a different game as they move further into the playoffs, and as you live by it, you know, you die by it. And
sure,
that's been their problem, I think, this year. They've had a great season, but it could be spectacular.
Would it be fair to say, Bob, that this game was on balance more negative than positive for Norristown? On balance.
On balance, I would say yes, because you didn't get the things that I think you need to do that are going to carry you. See, your coaching experience tells you that you've already seen the teams in the district. You're probably scouting-wise 5 deep. You will know at this point, going into the 4th or 5th game, 2nd, 3rd, 4th after this one, who you're going to play. So you already know. So with these kind of games, the first game is a given. You're already thinking about what you're going to have to do for the second game and perhaps the third, based on how good the second team opponent is. You're thinking about what you're going to have to do. Because down the line, you know you're going to have to, if you keep winning, you're going to have to face a Cheltenham or a Council Rock. And your team has to get better, you have to get deeper, and you have to execute consistently. So in answer to your appraisal, absolutely. I think you need to address those things, and I don't think we addressed those tonight. I think I finished, and I you know, being critical, yes, but I think I counted 14 straight possessions where we made one pass and took a shot.
Right.
And I just don't think that's going to fly as you move into the second half of your season. First season's over. That's done. Now you're in the second half of the season.
Right.
And this is what it's all about. And give credit to the kids, they're here, to the coaching staff, they're here. But you're not satisfied as a coach or players with that. You're looking to go to the next level, and the next level is states.
Right. I understand, Bob, and I agree with you 100%. That'll wrap it up for tonight here at Norristown High. Again, a convincing 42-point win for the Eagles as they advance in the District 1 playoffs, playing either Conestoga or North Penn. I don't know if we're going to be broadcasting another game, but again, as I said the last time, it's been a pleasure coming into your living rooms and bringing you these games. Some have been very exciting, some have been very, very boring, as tonight's game was. But we'll know, I guess, in the next couple of days if we'll be broadcasting another game. Is that right, Bob?
I think so. I think we will be able to broadcast the next game, which I believe, Joe, is tentatively scheduled for Wednesday.
That's my understanding too, Bob. Okay, that wraps it up from Norristown High tonight. For my broadcasting partner, Bob Koch, this is Joe Highland saying so long for now.
Joe, I'll be right with you.
Okay, yeah.